What an outro, man. What a song. What's happening, everybody? Trey here, and today at Reactions to the Classics, I'm going to be reacting to Black Sabbath's record, Technical Ecstasy, their 7th album in this series that our longtime friend and patron of the channel, Carl, has suggested for us to go through. You can go and check out the first 6 full Black Sabbath album reactions that I did in the past handful of months here as well. And there's only 2 Ozzy-led Sabbath records left, and so I'm a little sad the journey's coming to an end. And you know, we're almost wrapping it up, but hey, still 2 records left. And with that said, let's just get into the quick facts here today, people. As I noted, it was their 7th record, produced by the great Tony Iommi, their guitarist, and released in September of '76 by Vertigo Records. The album received mixed reviews from critics, but it was a commercial success, peaking at 13 in the UK and 51 here in the States. After frustrating legal battles that accompanied the recording of their previous record, Sabotage, Sabbath chose Miami's Criteria Studios for the making of this record, which continued the band's separation from the doom and darkness that had been the trademark of their early records. Iommi noted, quote, "Some people may have heard the band in 1970 and be thinking, oh no, not them again, but if they heard us now, they'd probably might like us." In the July 2001 issue of Guitar World, Dan Epstein wrote, quote, "The sessions proved extremely relaxing for everyone except for Tony, who was left to oversee the production while the others sunned themselves on the beach." Iommi explained to the same magazine in 1992, quote, "We recorded the album in Miami and nobody would take responsibility for the production. No one wanted to bring in an outside person for help and no one wanted the whole band to produce it. So they left it all to me." In the liner notes to the band's 1998 live record reunion, Phil Alexander wrote that while the band struggled to finish the album, quote, "rock had spawned a new set of iconoclasts as the Sex Pistols, The Damned, and The Clash. Suddenly, Sabbath found themselves both unsure of their musical direction and labeled as has-beens. It's not like now, if you're a heavy metal band, you put out a heavy metal album," Geezer Butler, the bassist, explained. "Back then, you had to at least try to to keep up and be modern. Punk was massive then, and we felt our time had come and gone." To make matters worse for the band, their manager, Don Arden, began spending more of his time focusing on another one of his acts, ELO, whose 1975 record, Face the Music, was their first to make the U.S. top 10. In his autobiography, Ozzy Osbourne admitted he'd begun to consider leaving the band during this time period. Quote, "I'd even had a t-shirt made with Blizzard of Oz written on the front. Meanwhile, in the studio, Tony was always saying, 'We gotta sound like Foreigner,' or 'We gotta sound like Queen.' But I thought it was strange that the bands we'd once influenced were now influencing us." Osbourne also wrote that the cost of recording in Florida was astronomical and that he, quote, "lost the plot with booze and drugs during the recording of the record, eventually checking himself into a Stafford County asylum on his return to England. That was the beginning of the end," that one, Geezer Butler noted. "We were managing ourselves because we couldn't trust anybody. Everyone was trying to rip us off, including our lawyers we'd hired to get us out of our legal mess. It was really just getting to us around then, and we didn't know what we were doing, and obviously the music was suffering. You could just feel the whole thing falling apart." While the band were recording the album, the Eagles were recording Hotel California in an adjacent studio at the same Criteria Studios in Miami. Quote, "Before we could start recording, we had to scrape all the cocaine out of the mixing board," Geezer noted. "I think they'd left about a pound of cocaine in the board. The Eagles were forced to stop recording on numerous occasions because Sabbath were too loud and the sound was coming through the wall." I thought that was a cool little trivia note between 2 bands you might not associate with each other. As with their previous 2 records, the band continued experimenting with keyboards and synths on this. The music itself was less dark and more atypical than that of their previous records. In '92, Tony Iommi noted, "Black Sabbath fans generally don't like much of the Technical Ecstasy. It was really a no-win situation for us. If we had stayed the same, people would have just said, we're doing the same old stuff. So we tried to get a little more technical, and it just didn't work out very well." With that said, we're going to get after it. I know, with reading that, and, I've heard some people in the comments note that the last 2 records are, a step down in quality from those first 6 albums. But with that said, man, I always go into these reactions with an open mind, and I'm still looking forward to hearing what we got. We got 8 songs, about 40 minutes. I'm going to be checking out the 2021 remaster that Spotify has up on here. And with that said, let's get to it, man. We're going to start off with the track Backstreet Kids, the opener here. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. Hopefully the music will be able to be kept up in here. Usually most of the Sabbath stuff is, save for an odd track here and there. But if not, there will be a link to the Vimeo link in the comments where the full album reaction will be. And with that said, let's get our technical ecstasy on. I like it. We're just starting it off with an iconic Tony Iommi riff. Can't go wrong with that. Ozzy was not lying. Those synths coming in. Didn't expect it. I'm here for it though. Jam-packed going up to that final second right there. Sometimes a little tough to, pause it right at that last second so it doesn't go to the other song. But Backstreet Kids here kicking this record off, man, and you can already see Sabbath changing the sound a little bit. Most notably in the use of those synthesizers that came in. It keeping a little with that mid 70s time. Maybe it's because I just read them in the quick facts, but ELO, kind of getting a touch of that in the sense there that they that Sabbath were using. Not my favorite type of sound, mixing that with the guitar, but it is interesting, it is different, And you know, I still thought that the riff in here was really solid. We still had a little mini solo towards the end by Iommi, which was good. And I enjoyed some of these lyrics, just kind of a song that's, you know, straight and to the point about you know, the Backstreet Kid, right, ready to rock until he dies, and just do it for the love of the music. And the chorus simply states, "Nobody I know will ever take my rock and roll away from me." And we even had a little ode to Hand of Doom from Paranoid, which is one of my favorites off of that record. So I thought that was a little bit cool. And you know, all in all, Ozzy sounded solid. I don't know if I'm gonna go so far as to give it the heart treatment, but you know, I think that it might be a good teaser of what's to come, possibly sonically on this record. But who knows? We're gonna have to listen to find out, right? So we're gonna go now to the song "You Won't Change Me." Looking here, 6.5 minutes. Yeah, looks to be the second longest song here on the record. So let's check it out. All right, this is getting back to a little bit of the doom and gloom, a little bit right here. A bit eerie. All right, I'm liking what I'm hearing so far, y'all. Let's go. Has that epic feel and quality to it. Come on. Great track. Come on, Tone. Definitely got to add the heart to that one, man. I really enjoyed this one. You Won't Change Me, as we heard at the end as the song was fading out. It's just how it began, right? With the keys droning on a little bit, setting up that more eerie, creepy, atmosphere, and then we go into just a really great rocking song right here, sprinkled with a couple of solos by Iommi that showed, it lived up to its name, right? A little more technical, I feel, side of Iommi right there, especially in that first guitar solo. And the song again is pretty self-explanatory about a dude who recognizes that, hey, he's probably not going to change, and he knows I only need to live for today. But there's still that kind of little part of him. He says, I'd like to talk things over with you. I want to hear the things you say today, although you won't change me anyway. So it's, kind of that pull within this dude where he's like, I think deep down he wants to change, but he just feels that it's a lost cause and a lost endeavor. He'll hear what people have to say, but enacting that change is easier said than done. But all in all, I thought this was a great track, a big step up for me from the opener. Not the Backstreet Kids was bad, but this is the Sabbath that I get behind. I feel it called back to their sound on their previous records quite well. So with that said, we're going to switch gears a little bit here, go into the track It's Alright, which is a bit unique on this record, and honestly kind of in Sabbath's catalog, because it doesn't really happen all that often, because this is written and sung by the drummer, Bill Ward. Originally, he was resistant to sing the song for fear of offending Ozzy, but he was encouraged by the band to do it, and they went with it. So let's check it out. I didn't expect a piano ballad kicking us off. Thinking that even in a more pop leaning song like this, they still let Tony shred in here. It's all right. A piano ballad, and in some senses, and some of the more pop-leaning, sounds that you're going to hear from Sabbath. And I thought it was, just again, kind of a total left turn than what the expectations were. With that said, again, not a bad track, not one I'd be like, rushing to revisit per se. But I thought Bill did a good job on the vocals, honestly, and just kind of that. That chorus just is a bit of an earworm. It's simple. It's all right. Yes, it's all right. It's a bit calming and a good mantra to tell yourself, right? And so all in all, I enjoyed the fact too they let Tony shred in here a little bit, and then towards the end, you really heard the acoustic guitar, make it sound known, so to speak. So. 3 songs in, we're really kind of we're seeing all the different sounds that Sabbath can kind of blend together in right here. So I don't know what to expect next, but we're gonna end the first side out with Gypsy here, cover of the Fleetwood Mac song. Not quite. The Mac song would still be years away from being created, but hey, didn't I put it in your mind now that you want to hear Prime Sabbath cover that great track? But with that said, let's hear what we got. All right, went from the Bill Ward vocal showcase to the Bill Ward drum showcase. So. There we go, people. like how the riff and the keyboard and the guitar riffs are playing off each other right here. That is how you close out a side, ladies and gents, right there with Gypsy. A very, again, just very kind of epic and very well produced song for sure, man. I love the mix on this, especially you could really just hear how crisp sounding the production was in that second verse where the piano riff and the guitar riff were playing off each other with Ozzy kind of unfolding the story about the gypsy, taking his hand. She told me that she'd had the call. He later noted, she showed me shadows, a specter of life. My soul just wanted to scream. A very theatrical type of track right there, and great imagery, putting you right in the scene right here. And finishing it off with another grand and great Tony Iommi solo right here. I thought this was a really strong track and a great way to end this first side right here. And now we're going to go to All Moving Parts, Stand Still. Okay, kicking off the second side right here. Let's see what we got.
What a combination, it's radiation. And he's saying free men should fight for me. Just like his mama, he seems to get
line.
Like choking toys. You've got to see me before you meet the boys. Teachers run the school. He's had enough of sticking to the rules. All right. People stop and see. He's got to be more decadent than me. Just as the time. He gets his kicks from licking off the wine. Princess and the ladies, all figures and Sadies. Call him up and he takes their numbers down. Said he is a woman, I should have seen it coming. And she said she's married to a clown. Just like a lady, she'll keep you guessing through the night. Not tonight. Well, I might. Oh,
Right.
yeah.
All moving parts stand still, and Geezer noted on this that the song is about a female transvestite who becomes the president of the U.S. because America was such a misogynistic society at the time, and you kind of see that played out in the lyrics right here. In a lot of lines too about America's fascination with violence and defense. Right? You hear him say, "All moving parts should kill." Just like the hero, he's got them all on the run. Later on, he says, what a combination, peace and radiation. And he's saying 3 men should fight for me. We get to the bridge talking about the teachers burnt the school. He's had enough of sticking to the rules. Please stop and see. He's got to be more decadent than me. And, later on, we get the big reveal that call him up and he takes their numbers down. Says he's a woman. I should have seen it coming. And she's saying she's married to a clown. Just like a lady, she'll keep you guessing through the night. And musically here, I thought there was some great drum fills in here by Bill Ward. Again, a lot of the guitar work on here is less heavy metal like. If we want to just reduce it to that term, and that is giving me more kind of that mid to late 70s hard rock vibe right there, which isn't bad by any means. It's just different. It's just different. I can see here 5 tracks in why it was probably a divisive album at the time of its release, especially maybe for some longtime Sabbath fans who. It's like that with anything, right? Sometimes a band changes its sound and they'll lose some people, but hey, I'm sure they gained a lot of fans, in this new musical direction as well. So I thought it was a solid tune right there. And we're gonna go now to Rock and Roll Doctor. little cowbell? We need more of it. Okay. Gotta see my rock and roll doctor. Come on. Rock and Roll Doctor. Again, I've not heard a Sabbath song like this up to this point in their calendar, or catalog rather, or their calendar. We had like a ragtime like piano in here. You had the cowbell rocking, some tremendous drum fills again by Bill Ward. I think he was a highlight on this. This is a song I'd more expect to hear from like I don't know, like an AC/DC type of thing, right? The lyrics are, nothing to write home about per se, but all in all, this is just like it's just a fun, I think, rocking tune that Sabbath probably put on here to, hey, don't try to read too deep into it. Like, Ozzy's just saying, hey, gotta go see my rock and roll doctor. Gotta go see him. He's gonna blow me away. Yeah, he makes me happy when I'm feeling down. Hey, we all gotta have that rock and roll doctor, right? So again, not a song that I'm gonna be giving the heart treatment to or anything, but it was fun for what it was, man. And again, just showcasing Sabbath, trying some different things out. So we're gonna go now. We only have 2 songs left to She's Gone.
waiting for you. I didn't want to see you go. Oh no, no. I know it's hurting so much. What can I do? I wanted you to be my wife. The days are passing slowly since you've gone. Your memories are all I have. Yes, I have. I sit here waiting, but you never show. Without you, I can't carry on. Ooh,
Getting into our feelings with this one, people.
baby. You said you'd always love me all of my life. And then you said your last goodbye. Yeah, goodbye. Why the sudden changes? Why all of the lies? I should have seen it in your eyes. The endless hours of heartache are waiting for you. My summer love has turned to rain. Oh, the pain. The silent emptiness of one-sided love. My life means nothing now you've gone. Ooh, my baby.
Quite a melancholic tune right here with She's Gone, that you can interpret it, I think more, straightforward as the lyrics is, obviously this love interest is gone, but I think you can also interpret some lines in here if you wanted to, of people that have, passed away. And so I think Ozzy did a bang up job on the vocal right here. Almost some proggy elements in this track, as there was in the song Gypsy as well. So again, Sabbath really showcasing more of that technical side of them right here. And, again, a solid production right here. And like I said, man, I think the lyrics and the music just blended together to make a very melancholic type of track. The days are passing slowly since you've gone. Your memories are all I have. Yes, I have. I sit here waiting, but you'll never show. Later on, he says, you said you'd always love me all my life. And then you said your last goodbye. Why the sudden changes? Why all the lies? Correct. At the ending notes, my life means nothing now. you're gone. You know, there is no happy ending on this song, but hey, I get it, man. Sometimes when your heart's broken, you feel that there's not going to be a brighter day ahead. So we're going to finish things off now with the song Dirty Woman, the longest song here on the record. Tony Iommi later confirmed that Geezer Butler wrote the lyrics and all about all the hookers he had seen in Florida. It is the only song from the album that was regularly played live, especially when Ozzy was with the band. So we'll check out this final track, and then I'll give my favorite tracks and overall score to this record.
The neon lights are shining on me again. I walk the lonely streets in search of a friend. I need a lady to help me to get through the night, through the night. If I could find her, then everything would feel alright.
Getting back kind of to that more classic Iommi sounding riff.
Sleepy city is dreaming the nighttime away. Out on the streets, I watch tomorrow becoming today. I see a man, he's got takeaway women for sale. Yes, for sale. Yes, that's the answer. 'Cause takeaway women don't fail.
All right. Come on. Let's bring it.
Oh, dirty women, they don't mess around.
Let's go.
Oh, dirty women, they don't mess around. You got me coming, you got me going around. Oh, dirty women, they don't mess around. Let's go.
What an outro, man. What a song. Dirty Woman hitting that great fade out at the end. Mm, I think they saved the best for last year, people. Man, what a great song, great way to end this record off. Lyrically, it is what it is, right? It is describing, what Geezer saw on the streets of Miami, right there. They kind of put you in there with the neon lights, and this dude, he needs a woman to get through the night, right? And I really thought the second half of the song put it in that next tier, right? Where that chorus, "Oh, dirty woman, they don't mess around." I thought that was one of Ozzy's best vocals on this record, if not his best. Really, that outro right there with the lead guitar by Tony was fantastic, man. And like I said, really took the song, I think, from good to great. And I think everybody was tight, and just a great hard rocking tune right here that really showcases the talent, I think, that Sabbath possessed, and still possessed at this point in their careers right here. So I thought that was a great way to end the record off. And speaking of, that'll take me to my favorite tracks. Obviously, "Dirty Woman's" going to be in there. "You Won't Change Me" again. The longer songs on this record, I thought stood above the rest. And then I'll also throw in "Gypsy" in there as well. I enjoyed that ending off the A side. Going now to my overall thoughts on this record and score. As I mentioned a little earlier in the reaction, I can see why, especially if you were a longtime fan of Sabbath, why this was maybe a tougher record to digest whenever it was released, right? Because it is more on that hard rock side of things, less of the those doomy riffs that myself and millions of others fell in love with Sabbath, right, on their debut, on Paranoid, right, on Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. That heaviness isn't quite there on this record, but that doesn't mean that's a bad thing, right? It just means you're sounding different. And I think what Tony said, that I quoted in the Quick Facts, right? If they would have kept with their same thing, people would have been like, "Oh man, it's been 7 albums of this. Y'all got to change it up." So, whenever you're in a band, it's kind of a tough situation at points, right? But we had a lot of different types of sounds on here. Sabbath and synths aren't my favorite. So that's maybe why I wasn't as high on a song like Backstreet Kids as some others might be. But I feel on this record, when they kept, even without the doom and gloom nature of the heaviness of the songs, they kept in the hard rock realm. On a track like "Dirty Woman," right? That really, still, it still hits, man. It's still Sabbath. It's still great. It is interesting because I think Sabbath has such a distinct sound in their classic records, right? And I feel there were other bands that maybe could have done this type of record right here, whereas you can't easily say that about their previous work. So it's just an interesting thing to observe. And there were some proggy type elements as well, especially on the song "She's Gone," which I found interesting. So definitely showed the technical proficiency of all the members of the band in here. But with that said, I think I'm going to land on a 7 out of 10 on this album. It definitely had songs that I will, kind of take and put on my Sabbath playlist right here, and really, kind of dive deeper and enjoy it. And then it had some forgettable songs as well, that I'm not going to be rushing to go and listen to again. And all that to say, though, the musicianship and the production was really spot on. And so I think a 7 out of 10 for me on first listen is a score I'm comfortable landing on right here. It was not as like I said, coming in reading some of the comments, like, "Oh man, this is a record that's not that great." I don't think it fell into the bad category by any means. So man, with that said, let me know your thoughts on Technical Ecstasy down in the comments below. Do you love this album? Do you hate it? Do you think it's a little underrated? Let me know. Do you think it shouldn't be listened to again? Let me know that as well. And that's it, man. That's it. We only have one record left in this series. Never Say Die came in 1978, so a couple years after this one. So be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on that review that'll be dropping next month. And you can check out our back catalog of all our Sabbath reviews and reactions as well. And if you'd like to have me or someone here at the channel review or react to something for you, check out our Patreon page, man. You get some other cool perks as well. Keeps the channel up and running. But that'll do it for me today. And until next time, y'all, thanks so much for watching. Happy listening, and I will see you